In the recent years, I've begun to notice a slight shift in anime as a whole. One that is a refreshing change of pace and shouldn't go without being acknowledged by someone, which I'm about to do right now, so let's get into it. Animation production is a well-oiled machine with numerous parts to keep it running and fully functional. That same machine can also jam with the slightest misstep. There's a lot of components that go into creating animation, from storyboards, script writing, vocal recordings, background design, compositing, music, Foley. But one important visual aspect that goes underappreciated that can make or break an animation is character design. Hands down the most essential component in any production, whether it's an anime or a cartoon. Character design is a key element and the kickstarter to the visual pipeline, as the entire look of the anime essentially starts with you. While it may be daunting, the challenge can be fun. Let me school you guys a little bit for those watching that maybe aren't aware of the job that a character designer entails. In anime, the character designer is handed a huge task to bring the manga counterpart to life while simultaneously keeping the spirit of the original mangaka's art style and essence intact. With the help of the director, they go through countless hours of trial and error coming up with a competent art style that's not only pleasing to the eye, but is visually unique and easy to animate. They're also in charge of creating model sheets, turnarounds, and expressions for the animation team to keep consistency throughout the entire production cycle. I say all of that to say, anything visually cannot start without the character designer. Well, maybe backgrounds can. I don't know. Depending on how you go about it, this can be extremely exciting and you have the power to kickstart something magical or result in an entire fucking meltdown. That's how important the character designer is. But why did I want to discuss this topic? Like I said in the beginning, I'm beginning to notice more and more an increase of simpler designs in numerous anime, whether airing, previously aired, or up and coming, which is great. This process is actually called Kagenashi, literally meaning shadowless in English, a technique where little to no shading is used in character designs. Pretty straightforward, right? This is by no means a new technique, as a lot of older series have used it, most notably Naruto. It's just that recently there's been an uptick. I think it's great that more studios are taking a simpler approach. And for me, being an artist and a fan of anime, I completely understand why this approach is being more popularized. The reasonings being more fluid animation, better consistency, and clearer separation of foreground and background. I have 3 series as examples to delve more into each reasoning and to prove why I think you can do more with less when it comes to character design. Starting with example number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen. When I think about shows that have benefited tremendously from simple character design, I can't think of one better than Jujutsu Kaisen. Originally releasing in 2020, JJK was one of the many shows that became instant hits during COVID. Seriously, this was months into the pandemic, niggas couldn't go outside, so they had all the time in the world. Live action and reality shows productions were on halt, so niggas was like, let me give this anime thing a try. Oh, what's this Jujutsu Kaisen? For some, this was people's introduction to anime, which, thinking about it now, is crazy considering the vast amount of shows there are. Like, can you imagine someone saying Demon Slayer was their first anime? Why torture yourself like that? I think what separated JJK from his contemporaries were the visuals, specifically the character design. Originally directed by Sunghoo Park, he took his skill of insane fight choreography from the god of high school and transferred it over to JJK. Season 1's character design was a damn near one-to-one recreation of Gege Akutami's gritty manga art style, and with the release of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, I thought, how can Park make this even better? Well, the nigga left. A few months after JJK 0, news broke of Sunghoo Park stepping down from his directorial role to create his own studio, leaving fans wondering, well, what the fuck? You can't just leave? What about season 2? That last question loomed over the fandom for the next few months to a year. Then official news released that Shota Goshozono was appointed new director of the series. And I was seated. JJK Season 2 aired with an entire visual overhaul. Thanks to the simplification of character design, we got more fluidity in animation. Consistency-wise, there aren't any noticeable issues, but if you compare both seasons, the difference is night and day. Notice how the shading is much more detailed and prominent in Season 1 than 2. That means more elements to keep track of when animating. Animation is hard, and it gets tedious when you have to draw frames over and over again and at the same time, keep a close eye on that detail every single drawing. Ain't nobody trying to do all that shit. And thanks to that change of direction, the detail got stripped back in exchange for better character animation, fight choreography, color theory, compositing, all from just one simple change. Lastly, because of simpler designs, they pop out in the foreground. In season 1, because of the highly detailed characters, background, and compositing, it all culminated into a visual mess. Now we have a clearer separation of foreground and background and a constant showcase of beautiful visuals. It's no different than an American cartoon. Designs with minimal to no shading depending on the series against a very detailed background. Season 1 already had good visuals, but season 2 leveled up, giving the show a breath of fresh air that was needed visually. I remember in an interview where Goshozono stated that he always imagined JJK being the visual style he brought to season 2. And since reading that, I always wondered how season 1 would be if he was the director from the start. Can we get season 1 reanimated with the current art style? Anyway, we're currently awaiting news regarding the Culling games, and I'm looking forward to seeing official key visuals and trailers. Amazing story and characters aside, there's a reason why Mob Psycho 100 is still remembered fondly 2 years later. Even with new series releasing each year, people still talk about it. Think about it. Why does the Shimazaki fight from season 2 go viral every so often on Twitter? 1, because it's hard, and 2, the insane animation and visuals. Visually, Mob Psycho has a fairly simple but unique art style. Thanks to that, we got a series with some of the best fights and animation in recent memory. I would say Mob Psycho has taken advantage of simplicity the best and elevating it. Green tinted, unconfident line art to emulate one's drawing style, minimal shading with the blurred elements being in the skin, soft coloring, all culminating into a watercolor painting aesthetic that's pleasing to the eye. And we already know what comes next. Near perfect, high octane fight animation that stays consistent throughout each season without dips in quality. And because the backgrounds have a watercolor-esque quality to them, the characters are able to stick out due to the expressive character animation. Very rare to see a mangaka receive adaptations for 2 of their best works and both be animated masterpieces. Most are lucky to get 1. Which brings us to our last example. The Dragon Ball franchise needs no explanation. Even if you're not an anime fan, you've heard about some form of Dragon Ball media. It's too iconic at this point. This is an interesting property to analyze, mainly for the fact that for a long time, we never visually saw what Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was truly supposed to look like. Because of the time period and how the shows were made, the original anime materials deteriorated over time, which resulted in numerous home releases being made in the 2000s to early 2010s, trying to remaster the series to its true format. It ain't supposed to be this blurry, smeary, oversaturated crap that we got on the DVDs. You can find tons of videos on YouTube that delve deeper into Dragon Ball home releases, but to sum it up, most were ass. That's besides the point. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Super Broly. Easily the best any Dragon Ball show or movie has looked not only in modern time, but all time. Why? Simple character design. When Z's anime adaptation released, it basically cemented the art style of sharp, very detailed shading in the designs with soft backgrounds to contrast. However, the animation was very much limited, copy-paste, and reused. There wasn't a lot of variation, and it was like that until Battle of Gods released in 2013. A masterclass in and of itself, but I believe the Broly movie was when the franchise finally found its visual identity. Essentially, take the detailed shading with the character designs plus soft backgrounds and flip it, which results in some of the best animation to ever come from any Dragon Ball media. I really wish I saw it in theaters when it was playing, but there wasn't one near me at the time. Seeing this level of animation on the movie screen with the audio blasting would have been so hype. With Toriyama's passing and Daima ending a few months ago, I don't know if we'll get another new series from the franchise. There still hasn't been any news regarding Super returning, but if it does, please go back to the Broly movie art style. That should be the definitive art style for the franchise moving forward. Ishitani-san, arigatou gozaimasu. These are just some of many series that have been or are currently using the Kagenashi technique, and we've definitely seen shows get an insane quality bump in animation because of it. This is why I believe less is more when it comes to character design. Take a shot how many times I said character design in this video. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this topic. Are you a fan of simpler designs or more detailed ones? What anime do you like that I didn't mention that use this technique? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you rock with the video, leave a like and subscribe. Till next time, Deuces.